In this video, I interview Grant Cardone, international business expert and New York Times best-selling author, and we talk about how to grow your brand and business with online video, turn your weaknesses into strengths, and why being obsessed is the key to beating average. Coming up. Hey, what's up everybody? Sean here with Video Influencers. Hope you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. And I'm here today with international, well-known business expert, sales expert, best-selling author of the 10X Rule, New York Times best-selling author, all over social media, just crushing it, Grant Cardone. How's it going?
Don, good, man. Good. Appreciate you having me here, man. It's been too long. I don't know why we didn't get together sooner.
I agree. It's so pumped to have you on, and I've been so thankful for your content and its influence in my life and in our company and everything that we're doing with Video Influencers. But for those that are just meeting you, what's kind of your short bio if they're just getting to meet you right now?
Dude, I'm a guy. Let's see. What would my short bio be? Dude, I'm just trying to figure out the whole deal like everybody else. I mean, bottom line is I think I have a great message. I have an authentic, thing that I love to do. I love to help people. Somebody asked me, hey, what makes you feel good? I said, well, before I go to sleep every night, I'm 58 years old. Literally, I don't go to my bank account or, look at how much money I have. I go to Snapchat before I go to sleep every night, or YouTube, and I look at comments. And I actually respond and reply to people because I'm not looking for the haters. I'm looking for people that are succeeding with my information because that is to me, the ultimate wealth. And if you're like that, then the biggest challenge with it is just getting a following. It's just getting a following and being in contact with like-minded people that like your message. So, I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I used to be, hey, how do I get 7,000 people to follow me? Now, how do I get 7 billion people to know my name? And get some of them to like what I'm doing.
I love it. And, influencers watching, Grant has been just crushing it on so many different platforms, growth hacking, YouTube, started his own network. He's the founder of the Grant Cardone TV, which is really, I think of it as the Netflix for entrepreneurs and for forward thinkers and for young hustlers and hustlers of all ages. And then, of course, leveraging all these different tools. That's what we're talking about today is online video. What's kind of been your progression and what do you think about the significance of online video? The funny thing is the only reason we know, or at least the way we met was a Young Hustlers episode, right? So online video is the fact this is even happening. But if we take a step back, what's the importance of video and your perspective with it? And from my perspective, it appears as if I'm coming to you from Vegas. You've gone all in, right? With video, video is a big deal. What's your thinking behind the importance of video for building your business?
Look, I used to go when I was 29 years old, I had this idea. And the only way for me to get that idea out, this is 30 years ago or 28 years ago or something, right? The only way to do that is you got in your car, you drove to a company, you knocked on their door and you went door to door. And that's what I did, dude. I made millions of dollars going to door. It's probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It was the first business I created. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't even know how to make a list, man. I mean, this is way before CRMs. There was no internet. But it's the same thing, really. Like if you look at it, it's the same thing. When then 2009 came and the economy crashed. So if I went to a business in Memphis or in Louisiana or wherever, pick a city, pick a state, there's a good chance that half those businesses would close. So half the time, the other half of the businesses had gotten rid of all their employees. So it was like the same thing didn't work. And I'm like, how do I get my message out? And I realized also in 2009, kind of a long answer, but it's very, very important. In 2009, also my audience got cut in half. Everybody's audience got cut in half because the world, every industry got whacked. So whatever vertical you were in, it just got decimated. So you thought it was skinny until 2009, 2010. So I'm like, oh my God, dude, I made a mistake. I was good in one vertical. I was dependent upon one vertical. I was the king of one vertical. And the problem is that vertical got sliced. So the mistake I made in my career was I hadn't gone wide. And I asked myself one night when I wasn't crying, how can I go wide? I can't get in my car. It just doesn't work. You can't go see enough businesses wide. And I'm like, oh, video, man, video. So video was a way for me. At that time, it was YouTube. We just started shooting video. And the thing that I did well is like that everybody has a really hard time with is, dude, I don't edit any video. I shoot a video and I drop the video. I don't look at it a second time. Okay. Because I understand that it doesn't matter how good one video is. It can only do so much damage. It can only do so much good. So no matter how good one video, you got to think in terms of volume, if you're going wide, you got to think in terms of meteor storms every freaking night, all night long, because that's the space that you're going into. You're going into something that's bigger than the sky. If you can think about the internet, how giant it is.
I love that answer. And you definitely have lived that out, and because you're everywhere all the time. Yeah. But one huge question, because you start, I think when I was introduced to you, you had 4 shows going. You had weekly shows, and you're showing up for at least an hour, 30 minutes to an hour in each of those shows. You're starting to go on live. And also you have kind of like a team behind you. At some point you scaled into that. But what would your tactical advice be for maybe like the solo entrepreneur that's kind of hustling? They're wanting to get into this, but they're also trying to do all the other nuances of business. Maybe where should they start? And what should they do to bring that meteor shower when they're carrying all of it or most of it themselves?
Well, this is a good question. Okay. And this is what, first of all, it didn't start with four shows. It started with a YouTube. It started with, this is before Google Plus, right? This is like, all right, I have an idea. Something I saw, I had an idea. I'm going to put that in a video. I'm going to drop it on YouTube. The problem then was it was free. So I've never monetized YouTube my entire career. So we were paid a little bit of money from YouTube, and I'm like, stop the monetization. I don't want pennies. I'm going for branding. I'm going for a much bigger play here. I don't want their pennies and nickels. And I know some people have made a lot of money off of YouTube, but it wasn't my play, right? So you have to do volumes to figure out frequency, to figure out your message. You cannot figure out your message if you're doing one thing. So look, drop your video, drop 3 videos in a day. It doesn't matter how many you drop unless you're short on content. And if you're short on content, guess what? Your bank account's going to get crushed anyway. So go ahead and confront the freaking monster now. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have width of content, but start dropping content because it's going to start helping you identify your message. And while you're doing that, dude, make sure you're in front of somebody who can pay you today. You need to be getting money every day, and you cannot monetize through video in the beginning. Video is to brand you, is to make you aware. Your goal should be to become a household name where people see you all the time. So the 7th time or the 70th time or the 700th time, they're like, I think I know that guy. I heard about you before. People are talking about you. And that was really the goal. The goal back 6-7 years ago was I heard Jeff Foxworthy in a radio interview, and he said, the comedian Jeff Foxworthy, the redneck guy, he says, he was doing 2 interviews minimum every day, 365 days of the year before anybody knew his name. And it just hit me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not doing enough. So whatever the video is, man, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're great at cutting hair, you need to do scissors, razors, lice, good haircuts, bad haircuts, how to find a barber in your city, why never to have one in an airport. I don't know. Do something funny. Why black people shouldn't cut white people's hair, white people should cut black people, whatever. Anything to get attention for your brand until you know every little nuance about the good, the bad, the ugly, the funny, the serious about haircuts, if you will.
I love it. I love that. And let's get tactical. If you're sitting across from an entrepreneur right now and they're kind of wanting to jump in, but now they're looking and they're thinking, okay, I got Facebook Live, I got YouTube, I got Snapchat, I got Instagram stories. Yeah. In your mind, you're everywhere and you're hustling on these different platforms, but where's the order breakdown? Where do you maybe see a lot of success you think people should be paying attention to right now?
It's a freaking $1 billion question, right? So I wrote Mark Cuban an email Saturday. I said, Mark, hey, I don't know if you know who I am, man. He wrote me back 3 minutes later. Of course I know who you are, dude. Now, how does Mark know who I am? I don't actually know. Okay. I've never met him. I've never been on Shark Tank. I've never been to one of his basketball games. I didn't photobomb him. So I don't know how he knows me. So I don't know which platform it's on. So the answer to your question, man, is you guys don't have a choice. Okay. If you have a favorite social media platform, you do not understand social media. Okay. It's like a guy told me this morning. He's like, man, I'm seriously introverted. I'm like, yeah, okay, bro. So just call it what it is. Say it like this. Say, I am self-centered and selfish and self-absorbed because so what that you're freaking introverted. You can't be in this world. If you want things you don't have, they're outside of you. And if they're outside of you, you got to quit thinking about your feelings and do what you fear. And people that are using just Facebook or just Snapchat, dude, you guys are selfish. It isn't for you. It's for them. And I got to go wherever them is.
I love it. I love it. And so I like about kind of getting out of yourself, kind of breaking through, and that transitions us. You've got a new book coming out, and I'm pumped for it. I definitely want to plug probably one of my favorite business books and just mindset books of all time, the 10X Rule. And we'll link, of course, all resources in the description. But I'm so pumped because your latest book is called Be Obsessed or Be Average. And I think it's going to be so important, the tips and the principles, really for our audience and for our community, because it's so much about what we talk about all the time is putting in the hustle, putting in like a whole lot more of energy, showing up all in, being 100% there. But talk a little bit about what this book is about.
Well, dude, look, the question I get asked every day is like, bro, where do you get your energy from, man? I said, look, man, I'm more lit up today at 58 than I was at 29. And at 29, people were telling me to slow down, and I, the whole burnout thing. Everybody's worried about burnout. Everybody's worried about overexposure. Oh my God, look, it's all garbage. You guys cannot burn out. When you find your ultimate thing that you're supposed to be doing, okay, which is probably not one thing, it's probably 3 or 4 or 5 different variations of things. When you find that thing, you might bitch about it, complain about it. Oh my God, I got too much going on. I'd rather complain that I got too much going on than regret not having anything going on. So when you find that thing, okay, this book is really about, like, it's the story of my life. Like when my life really turned around was when I started owning, embracing my addictive, compulsive, obsessive, neurotic, the thing that nobody wants anybody to be. When I started embracing that, the ADD, the ADHD, the bipolar, I've been called everything, bro. COPD, OPDD, like dick. I've been called everything, okay? Control freak. Look, when I started owning that I'm a control freak, when I started freaking handling, I literally took, Robert Kennedy said this, hang a lamp on your problems. When I heard that, I'm like, dude, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a freaking beacon, like Batman's got his freaking thing in the sky. I'm going to take and shine a spotlight on my shit. And when I did that, dude, when I just started like really pronouncing that I am addictive, that I am compulsive and obsessive, and that I'm a freaking, I love control. I love money, dude. I want to be famous. Like I want the hottest chick in the room. I'm greedy. Like all that, when I man, my life like overnight started turning around. Because what happens is when you sit on all that, when you try to shove all that down, that the energy, okay, whether it's dark or light or whatever, that energy in this thing that people have to be rich or to be famous, there's so much energy, man. It's like when you try to compress all that and deny it, it's coming out some other way, man. It's going to come out with a gambling problem, an alcohol problem, a drug addiction, addicted to pornography, addicted to laziness, whatever, watching football, becoming a spectator and watching other people. Oh my God, he's so great. That fascination with others that people get into, like, you're basically measuring your first year against somebody's 30th year. And people they invalidate themselves. So that's what this book's about. It's about giving people, young people, entrepreneurs, business owners, permission to be obsessed and who they really are.
Yeah, that's really powerful. That's what stood out. Like just total authenticity when you completely became true to yourself, in alignment, in integrity, and went all in with who you really are, it sounds like the things just unleashed. And I love one of the kind of points that you hit in there. Maybe you can go deeper on this. You talk about actually how to turn your deficits into gifts. And I think people would love to hear what they might feel like are their greatest weaknesses and setbacks. How do you hack those and start getting results out of them?
Because they're not deficits. This is what society is measuring the deficit. You got to understand, man, it's who's defining anything. So when the psychologist said I had ADD, I said, well, how do you know I have ADD? Well, because other people don't think like you do. Really, who are these other people, man? And you're bipolar. If you're not ADD, you're bipolar. And if you're not bipolar, then you're ADHD. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, you lost your dad when you were 10. You were abandoned as a young child. And I'm like, yeah, so what, bro? What's that got to do with anything? Okay, I want to be rich. I want to get so freaking rich, man, that I can gut my plane. Okay, that I can take out the insides of my plane because I don't like the way the interior is. I don't want to fly with other people, man. I don't want to sit on American Airlines and stop at the airport and have to breathe the freaking air of other people. Okay, well, you're antisocial. No, I want to be rich. And so like when you tell people this, they think you're freaking nuts. And so what happens is, and everybody has these dreams and they quit telling people what the dreams are early on in life. When I was 8, I wanted to write books because my dad did calligraphy. And I thought, oh my God, I want to be more like my dad. So I want to write books. And I didn't write a book until I was 51 years old. I've written 7 books, a total of 19 sales and business programs. I love to write, man. And so the hack is, man, don't let anybody else define who you are, because who are they? They're trying to make sense of why they gave up. You see, they're trying to make sense of why danger is bad. See, I want to be the most dangerous person in business, in negotiations, on the playing field, in life, dude. I want to walk in a room and I want to be the most dangerous person in the room. In a real estate deal, I'm doing a real estate deal right now. I want to be the most dangerous person at the table. Okay. I don't want to be the guy everybody freaking takes advantage of. So you got to own who you is and who you want to be, man. You got to own your dream. Your dreams are who you are. They were there before your kids, before your marriage, and before everything.
I love this stuff. This powerful content, influencers. And you know what's so powerful, and I've listened to your content for so long, Grant, and it is contrarian. And I think that's what makes it so powerful, is going against the grain. Apple think different. And it's kind of like society is telling us one thing and you kind of want to just flip the whole script on this messaging that's holding people back, right?
Yeah, it's almost like, hey, don't go this way. That's the way you want to go. I mean, if you study history, wherever the masses go is where the slaughter takes place. Okay. It doesn't happen to a handful of people. I mean, I try to do everything the way other people don't do it. So I don't go to movies at 9:00 at night at the theater. That's becoming less and less popular today for a number of reasons. I go to the first movie of the day where there's nobody there, man. Why? Because number one, I'm probably not going to get shot. Number two, now I got a better chance of hitting him when I shoot back. Number three, there's no lines, there's no parking. I'm in, I'm out, I'm using time better. So like people got to become laser focused at what you want to do now, right? I don't have time to be a spectator. I want to be a player on the field. And I want to be rich and I want people to know me. And again, this goes back to authentic. You cannot be a video influencer by copying other people. My staff came to me today, gave me 3 people online that are copying me. I'm like, don't worry about them, dude. As long as they're copying me, they're chasing me. And it takes longer to copy than it does to create something from scratch. Okay. A criminal will never steal as much as he could create himself. Mm. So never worry about, and by the way, it's not a compliment that people are copying you. It's thievery. It's little think. So don't turn and look at a guy copying you. Just keep creating content out of your authentic, who you actually are, and keep putting it online.
total fire. Now, one question that people ask a lot though is how frequently should they post on social media? Like how many times a day? What are your thoughts on that?
Hit the list. Hit the list. Okay. You hit the list, man. That's what I say. Hit the damn list. Okay. Just keep hitting the damn list until people say, I'm off your list. Okay. Because look, if you can beat the list up, you guys are so worried about losing somebody, you can't get anybody. Now, when I first hit the scene, the first recognition I got in the social media world, by the way, I've never ever told anybody I was a social media expert. They tell me they're experts. And then I look at their following and their engagement compared to mine. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not sure. If you're an expert, dude, then I'm a freaking genius. When I first hit the scene, the reason I hit the scene was people were using me as the example of what not to do. He posts too much. He posts too often. He promotes too much. He sells too much. Well, none of that was true. None of that was true. That was them trying to make sense of why they didn't. Okay. There is no way. It is impossible for anybody to post too much. I could post every 15 seconds if I wanted to on Twitter. Nobody will stop me at Twitter. It's just not going to happen. Okay. I could post every 15 minutes on Facebook. Nobody at Facebook's going to call and say, stop it. It's too much. Now, my best friend Howard might take me off. He might be like, I'm blocking Grant. I can't take it. Howard wasn't going to buy from me anyway, man. I didn't create Facebook fan page for Howard, my friend. Okay, me and Howard go on trips together. Me and Howard, I went to St. Bart's. I invited Howard and his wife and his kids to St. Bart's where I stayed for 3 weeks. I'm going to pick up the phone and call Howard. I'm not going to, Facebook ain't for friends, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think the answer is the way to find people that are obsessed is to start being obsessed and be willing to lose the fleas and the ticks.
How do you feel about jumping into the lightning round?
Whatever you want to do, baby. I love lightning.
And this is the lightning round. On your end, can you do a physical interpretation of lightning with sound effects?
Do you know how long the longest lightning ever recorded is? 200 miles.
Was how long the lightning was?
Yeah, it lasted almost 7 seconds.
Jeez.
That's a little lightning round for you.
Little lightning facts.
Yeah, lightning facts.
There it is. Okay. Lightning round. First question, coffee or tea?
Coffee, baby. Coffee. Espresso, 4 shots. Fill it up with foam to the top. I have 4 of those before lunch every day.
Talking or texting?
I like to text. I just text the guy for $1 million while we got interrupted.
Person you most trust with a secret?
Person I most trust. Not my wife, for sure. Sabrina and Scarlett, no. Probably Sherry. Sherry's my COO.
If influencers could watch only one video that you have, what video would you recommend?
Dude, there was a video I did last Saturday called Mastering Objections. It's private. You can't get it. It's 5 hours long on how to master objections. It is the most brilliant piece of work I have done in 33 years.
Well, then how do you get it though? It's private. I can't watch it.
It's $500. It's 5 hours. I told them, put it on lockdown. Do not give it. It's worth, I'm telling you, it is the most brilliant piece of work. I knew when I was done, it was like Van Gogh, like it was like freaking genius, man. Other than that, what public video do we have? Yeah, that's screaming hot, dude. I mean, I got so many, bro. I got 3,000 videos online. I do a real estate show every Monday. I do a show called The Cardone Zone on Fridays on finance and career. We cover a lot of different topics here. One thing I'm a little frustrated with, Sean, is that I know that the hustle is very popular right now. But dude, you got the hustle's got to be wrapped in strategy.
Strategy, yeah.
You can't just hustle, because if you don't know what to do, what to say, how to follow up, it's just kind of like, what are you doing now? You look tired to me. People need to learn a strategy, man. Life is not a firewalk. This isn't about just enthusiasm. You got to have some strategy. So we teach people a lot of different stuff. I've written a book on how to become a millionaire, then a playbook. It was 400-page playbook on how to go from nothing to millionaire. I don't know how to tell you what video is the best, dude, because I cover a lot of different topics. I got some sales videos that are sick, some cold calling stuff that's crazy.
Love it. Okay, next question. Last thing you grabbed out of the fridge.
What was that thing I had this morning? What's that little stuff that swells up? It's the black seeds. The chi seeds or chia seeds. Chia seeds, it's made for me every night, and I get it in the morning.
Favorite place in the whole world?
Man, dude, so many favorite places, bro. I just left St. Bart's, but I love Italy. Barcelona's great, man. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do that. You know, the favorite place, dude, is wherever I am. I almost don't care where I am most of the time. I make the most of it wherever I am.
Biggest pet peeve?
Dude, when people say I can't do something, man, I just want to fucking slap them. You know, and almost everybody does it. The banks do it. Real estate agents do it. The mortgage broker does. Oh, that can't happen. That won't work. That can't. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Okay, we're gonna, you know, anything can be done. Like, I hate people saying that can't be done, or I hate how long it takes people to do stuff. Like, I try to take time out of everything. Longer's not better.
Movie every influencer should watch.
Well, you got to see McGee, man. What was it? The Maguire movie. Yeah, show me the money, man.
Show me the money.
Got to see that. You got to see Jerry Maguire. You got to see the what's the one I cry to all the time? The asteroid movie. What was that movie? Armageddon, dude. Look, I've seen Armageddon 17 times. Cried every time, bro.
Classic.
When Bruce Willis takes it for his son-in-law, man, I'm like, damn, that's the kind of man I want to be, dude. Okay.
I love it.
I mean, look, dude, if I had, I better not even say this, because if I had one thing on my bucket list, okay, I would be the guy that would stop the terrorists. And I would be known for that guy that stopped the terrorists, that put my own life on the line to stop the terrorists. I would love that. I don't know what movie that was, but.
Last song you had on repeat.
Wait till I get my money right. What song is that? That's a Kanye song. That's not the name of it. Wait till I get my money
right. If you could have only one thing, and it's a zombie apocalypse, one item, what's your go-to item?
Dude, I'm definitely my Glock.
You know that's right.
You know that's right.
Book every influencer should read.
Dude, you got to read Be Obsessed or Be Average, man. I'm telling you.
Be Obsessed or Be Average.
Yeah, you got to read that book. I'm telling you, I'm reading it. I wrote the book and I'm reading it right now. And when I read it, it gets me excited. Like, if this story was not about me and it was about somebody else, I'd be like, dude, that book is going to change some people's lives.
Podcast every influencer should listen to.
Oh, God, man. I don't know. Every podcast. Yours, man. You got a podcast, right?
We don't. We want to start one. It's all on YouTube right now. But yeah.
When you start one, that's the one.
That's Video Influencers. That's the one. Hit subscribe.
Video Influencers.
Last thing on the lightning round, and might go big, but what's the biggest thing that's inspiring you right now?
Dude, I think for the first time in my life, okay, I think I'm actually capable of doing some of the stuff that now I'm like, oh my God, you know, like, I'd like to take a company public. I want to take my real estate company public. We own 4,000 apartments. I want to take it to 40,000. I want to open on Wall Street at $4 billion. I want them to ring the bell, and I'll be up there at CNBC saying, "Woo! I told you I could do it." That'll be my announcement to the freaking Wall Street. I told you.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. That was the lightning round. Okay. Last couple questions, just landing the plane. First of all, the best place for influencers to connect with you right now, where you'd want to send them. And of course, we will link up everything in the show notes, in the description, as well as resources to the new book.
Yeah. Man, I mean, people could find me anywhere, wherever you are, I'd rather the people, like, wherever you are, whatever channel you're on, if you're on Snapchat or YouTube or Twitter or Facebook or whatever, if you search Grant Cardone, you're going to find me there. And you might find a whole bunch of Grant Cardones there, because it seems to be like some people using my profile right now. But so wherever, if you want to get a book, you go to wherever you want to get a book. We have books here too, but wherever you're most comfortable getting a book or an audio program or an e-reader, we disseminate in every platform possible.
I love it. I love it. And we'll link up to Grant Cardone /obsessed. And a couple cool things that I want to highlight. You could probably go deeper on this. One that's really cool is that 100% of the proceeds of this book is going to a cause that you feel passionate about. What are you doing with that?
The proceeds from the sale of the book are going to Drug Free America and Drug Free World. Okay. Basically educating people that, man, kids are being overprescribed these drugs. Okay, these psychotropic drugs for the ADD and the ADHD and all the stuff, COPD. I'm not going to even argue whether it is or it isn't or whatever. There's just too many drugs on the street, man. And it's not the illegal drugs, dude. It's big pharma drugs. These drugs are freaking dangerous. From firsthand experience, I've used street drugs and I've used lithium. Okay, and the ones that are coming from the big pharma, they're freaking heavily. I mean, they're massive drugs. So I really just want to educate parents and young kids. Hey man, maybe nothing is wrong with you. Maybe there's something wrong with you. I don't know. Maybe you're a genius and everybody's having trouble with you, just like Mozart and just like Van Gogh and just like Einstein and just like Henry Ford, dude, all the geniuses. Somebody said there was something wrong with that dude, man, until everybody was like, nah, I always knew you were going to be a freaking genius. So I just really want to educate. We're trying to get one book in every high school in America. There's 36,000 public and private high schools in America. So when some 10th grader, that's when my life turned to when I was in the 10th grade. If a 10th grader sees this on the shelf, dude, if you saw this on the shelf when you were in the 10th grade, would you have picked it up and said, I got to read that?
100%. I'd be like, man, that guy's riding on a jet. What's happening there?
There's no Photoshop. That's my plane, and I'm on that jet engine. It wasn't hot that day, but anyway, I want to educate kids, man. I want to give people permission to be freaking maniacs, to be who they are, to be all in all the time, and to go for their dreams.
And then one other resource there is that if you do grab one of the books, you're doing a 13-week coaching program for free. What's inside of that?
So anybody that buys the book, if you buy it for yourself, just send me a receipt to obsessed@grantcardone.com. I'm going to do 13 weeks. I'm going to deliver a 13-week coaching program to everyone, VIP, exclusive, just us. And I'm going to go over each chapter. Now, the reason I'm doing that, it's a little selfish, okay? 84% of all books that are bought are not read. So that keeps people from buying another book. So I'm going to guarantee you when you buy this book, okay, just send me a receipt and I'm going to walk through the book with you. So I guarantee you this is going to be a book that you read. And I know this, if you read the book, and you understand what I'm talking about in each of the 13 chapters, you're more likely to succeed with the book. And people that succeed with books tell other people about books.
Love it. Awesome. So check that out. Of course, links in the description below. Grant, last question is, what's your final piece of advice for influencers to get their hustle on, to be obsessed, and to really share their best work with the world?
Dude, you got to quit thinking about yourself and think about your audience. When I speak to an audience, when I write an article, when I tweet, I'm not thinking about me. I'm thinking about receivers. I'm thinking about the haters. I'm thinking about the people that already dig my message. I'm thinking about the timing. I'm thinking about the day. I'm thinking about Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. I'm thinking about tonight's debate night. Like you got to think about the audience. What is the audience feeling in that moment? Okay. The Twitter audience, Sean on Twitter is different than Sean on Google Plus. Is different again when he goes to Facebook. So think about your audience. Like, take responsibility for how your audience feels in that moment that you're communicating to them.
Brilliant.
And do it a lot.
Yeah, I love that. Not just your value, not just volume, but also the value inside of your content.
Exactly. Like if you're not Donald Trump, then you're going to have to tweet a lot. Okay. Donald Trump's tweeted a third of the times that I have. But he's got a bigger forum. And by the way, just because you love social doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing TV, radio, podcast, and whatever else. I mean, you got to do it all, as well as creating media for yourself. Like I hate politics, but I insert myself into politics in order to get those that are watching politics to know who I am.
So Grant, thank you so much for coming on, and really appreciate you. We'll link everything up and look forward to the next time.
Dude, that was the best interview I've done today after 2:00.
I love it. I love the specificity and boom.
You're good, dude. You're really good. Thank you very much.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you going a little bit longer and taking the time, and look forward to really connecting more in the future as well.
Awesome, man. Thanks a lot.